Hi guys, welcome to my channel Happy High Tarot. In today's pick a card reading, we will find out how did the person on your mind feel when they last saw you. So for the first group, I have this light purple stone over here, and then this little darker purple stone for group 2. So feel free to pause the video over here, meditate on both your options, pick whichever one calls out to you the most. You'll find the timestamps in the comment section as well as in the description box below. So make your choice and let's get started. Hi group 1, so for those of you who chose this big light purple stone, let's see how was the person on your mind feeling when they last saw you, when you guys last met each other. Spirit, how was group 1's person feeling when they last met? So we have suffering in silence. How was group 1's person feeling when they last met? Financial and material changes. How was group 1's person feeling when they last met? Transformation in reverse. How was group 1's person feeling when they last met? And recognition and reward. Okay. Scorpio has come out very strongly over here. So maybe you have Scorpio somewhere in your chart, or the person on your mind does. You guys might have met on the 3rd, 5th or 9th of some month, or maybe when you guys had your last meeting, it was March or September or May. Anyway, so here's the thing. This person wasn't particularly chatty during your last meeting, but there's a reason behind it. There was a lot that they were hiding on. There was a lot that they wanted to say to you, but they didn't. They chose to stay silent instead. In fact, you would have felt this as well, I'm sure, that you were trying to make conversation with them, but they just seemed very off. They seemed very sad. But nothing in the surroundings or nothing related to whatever was happening during the events of that day would suggest any reason for this person to be sad. Then what was the reason? Something was shifting, okay? Something was changing. They knew what it was, but they did not tell you. Some sort of transformation was about to happen in their life, and it's quite possible that after your last meeting, when they stopped talking to you or ghosted you or dumped you, that is when you came to know that some such thing has happened. Either they moved to another city, state or country, or they joined a job somewhere else, or they got together with someone else, or they chose a college that was particularly far away from wherever you guys used to live previously. Some major change. In this individual's eyes, you both are not a match. And it's not because they think of themselves very highly, it's actually the opposite. They think very highly of you. That day also, the way you were talking, the way you were dressed, or just how confident you were, just how normal you were, I am getting this sense of jealousy also. They wish they could be more like you. They wish they had as much freedom as you do. They wish that they could be without any inhibitions just like you, but they aren't. And that day also, they knew that this change is going to come into their life, which is going to turn this whole connection around, and they did not want to drop that surprise onto you on that particular day. So they chose to stay silent, but they were suffering from within. The knowledge of what was coming next was hurting them, it was killing them. And somewhere they felt as if they told you on that day itself what was going to happen, you would perhaps start seeing them in a different light, or you would suddenly cut yourself away from them. And they did not want that. They wanted to really milk it, they really wanted to enjoy that every last bit of that day with you, because you did not know that they are going to leave after this. They knew that. They kept it confidential. Although, of course, I wish they hadn't. But from what I am seeing over here and Here's the thing about your person, group 1. Till that day, when you guys last met, you were very fond of them. They firstly did not want to disturb that thing. They wanted it to be in status quo for as long as possible. Secondly, I strongly feel over here with this energy that they did not want to be stripped of you. And they knew that if they told you that this change is going to happen, you might get cold feet, or you might retreat or back off a little bit. And they did not want that. In fact, I am sensing over here that the decision to cut you from their life was also not something that they were looking forward to or something that they were particularly happy about. Now, I am feeling that for some of you, this could have been like a career thing over here with recognition and reward, that they knew that if I want to get this, I'm going to have to let go of that, something along those lines. But definitely the reason why it was more of you talking and less of them talking is because there was so much going on in their mind, which they did not want to share with you. They did not want to ruin that day because of this. Although you guys might argue that by keeping quiet and by hiding this from you, they did eventually go on to ruin it. It's just that at the moment, your person did what they thought was the best course of action. Okay, let's see what else. Maybe some of you were wearing a green dress or a green top or something, some piece of green clothing that day. How was group 1's person feeling during their last meeting, Spirit? Enlightenment. How was group 1's person feeling during their last meeting? New beginnings. How was group 1's person feeling during their last meeting? Patience. How was group 1's person feeling during their last meeting? Inner peace. Exactly. Listen, you guys were your usual bright, sunshiny, chirpy self that day. And they did not want to disturb your peace by telling you what was going to happen. And now, Patience over here is telling me that their intention was never to hide any of this from you. It's just that they did not want to tell you all of this on that day. Because the day, according to you, was going well. They knew that this new beginning was going to happen. And here's the thing, with Patience and new beginning, although they were suffering, somewhere they did have this hope in their heart that maybe somehow they could incorporate you into that plan of theirs towards the new life. But we know now that that couldn't happen. I think it was more of a consolation that they were giving to themselves. So what I basically mean by this is that they knew that some massive change was going to happen in their life. They did not want to tell you that because they did not want to ruin your peace on that particular day. They were feeling horrible about it, but they chose to stay silent, hoping and thinking that, okay, I'm not going to tell group 1 right now, but I'll figure a way out. I'll try to make group 1 a part of this plan of mine about what's to come next, and I'll slowly break the news to them. But they didn't. They could never do that. They could either never gather the courage to do that, or they could never find a way to make you part of the plan. In fact, I'm also sensing group 1 that during that last meeting, they tried to steer clear of any heavy topics. You know, maybe somewhere here and there, you might have tried slipping in some serious topics such as long-term commitment or moving in together or engagement, marriage, kids, or going to a particular college together, moving to a new city together, things like that. But if you remember, you might have noticed that they were dodging all of those topics left, right, and center and just, changing the conversation to something else. Only when you were bringing up all of these topics. They were not ready to have any of those discussions. I think that Okay, this personality on that day is coming across as very torn, you know, torn between hopelessness and then hoping against hope. A part of them knew that this is it, and then a part of them was hoping against hope that no, maybe in the future also you guys can happily be together. Unfortunately, now we know that the part that was not so hopeful turned out to be right. I'm seeing that this last meeting could have happened during a time when you both were collectively transitioning from something to another thing. For example, this could have been the last meeting after your schools got over, so you were very excited about starting college with them soon, or you both had graduated together, so you were very excited about joining some internship or joining a new job or even a master's program with them. So while on the one hand you were focused on this new beginning wherein you pictured yourself with them, they, with this knowledge that's not going to happen, were trying to divulge from any of these hardcore heavy discussions about the future. They were also going on asking themselves this question in their mind, that group 1 makes me so happy and so far has given me so much peace and comfort and put up with so much of my nonsense, because I'm seeing that this is not an easy person to be with. This was not an easy person to be with, and I don't think that this was a short-term fling or a short relationship. I think you guys were together for at least like a couple of years or 3 years minimum. And the fact that you put up with them all of these years made them question that if they were to move away from you, or, you know, to just chuck you out of their life, will they ever find this solace again? Will they ever get the opportunity to be themselves or who they are in front of anybody else ever again? Instead of talking to you, they were talking to themselves in their head. That is what was going on. Okay, let's see what else do we have. There could have been some money issues involved over here as well. Maybe you guys come from wealth, or you guys were earning more money than them and they just weren't, or they did not have any money of their own and they were dependent on some parent or some guardian at the time. And for a lot of you, group 1, I feel like this person prioritized money over you, even though they knew that that was not fair to you, and they should have opened their mouth and told you something about it, but they chose not to. A lot of inner turmoil is what I'm picking up on this person's energy. And I'll tell you why that must have, like all of these alarm bells going off inside you on that last meeting, is because this wasn't usually group 1. The person that you're asking about is someone who's very calm. They are quiet, but they can be talkative too when part of a discussion, when part of a chatting session or something like that. But on that particular day, right from the get-go, you knew that something was off, that they were being weird, that they were being exceptionally quiet. It wasn't normal even for them. And I'm also hearing that you did try to probe them a little bit every now and then to find out what was it that was bothering them. But they, like I told you, were dodging all of your questions. They were not giving away any information. In fact, after this last meeting, when you did come to know about that particular transformation that we've been discussing, you might have felt betrayed. You might have felt as if, they had the chance to tell you, then why didn't they tell you? Like that. But, well, the reason why they didn't tell you, as we've already seen, is because they were so torn. They just couldn't make up their mind about whether to tell you or not. And then eventually they gave in to the whole let's not tell group 1 thing. How was group 1's person feeling during their last meeting, Spirit? Aspiration, you are unlimited, so aim for the stars. How was group 1's person feeling during their last meeting? the Christ opened the door to the kingdom of heaven. How's group 1's person feeling during their last meeting? Soul satisfaction. Aim for that which makes your soul rejoice. How's group 1's person feeling during their last meeting? Prosperity. Prosperity is flowing towards you, so be open to receiving it. Yep. And here's the thing. In this soul satisfaction card, you can see a couple and a baby, right? And then over here in the prosperity card, it's just shitloads of money and treasure and what else. So here's the thing. The choice was, there were two choices: a future with you or an independent future with tons of money, right? And the person that you're asking me about is very ambitious, all right? They are an extremely ambitious and intelligent person who wants nothing short of the best for themselves. In fact, I just heard that the reason why they used to date you is because you were the best amongst the crowd. Otherwise, they wouldn't have spoken to you. That is how selective they are. This individual has a habit of doing everything alone and just, some sort of loner energy is what I'm picking up on heavily. I don't think that falling for you or dreaming about having a family with you was ever part of their plan. But they did fall for you, and they genuinely fell for you, all right? The emotions that they showed towards you, the things that they said to you, that was all 100% original. It was all of it was genuine. But you were never part of the plan, all right? And that is when the time came to choose between, college or further studies or a job with more money, but something that is taking them away from you and things like that. Had you not been a part of their life, it would have been a very easy decision for them. But even though they chose this other thing, I can tell you, group 1, that it was not an easy choice for them, because now you were part of the mix. They felt very guilty. They felt horrible for what they did to you, for what they were about to do to you. Their guilty conscience was just kicking in. It was screaming from inside during that last meeting. In fact, especially now with aspiration and soul satisfaction, the energy that I had picked up on earlier that you guys might have discussed, that you might have been talking a lot about, a future wherein you saw them with you and things like that, they were avoiding all of those topics. They saw you in the purest of lights during that meeting. They felt like they knew that they would miss out, okay? They knew that they would miss out if they did not pick you. And yet, they picked prosperity, money, and material things over you. And now I'm getting a message which is very specific. So it's for a very small number of you, and don't force it upon yourself. For some of you, this individual left you for another person who was very wealthy or came from a very wealthy family, because they knew that they could use that individual's money or their family's money to finance their dreams. There was no love or attraction over there. The attraction was only towards that other person's money or their family's money. But that's a very specific message. This individual, during that last meeting, also knew that you were better than them, that you were very capable, and they just knew, okay? They knew it before you did, that someday you're going to be very successful. Till that time, they were not sure whether they would also be able to achieve the same level of success as you or not. And I think that might be one of the reasons why they were leaning more towards the whole money angle. But I can tell you that spending time with you during that day did create this image of settling down with you and starting a family with you in their mind. Like the dream about a future wherein they happily settle down, you were a part of that dream. But it's just that they knew that they had to pick another dream and not this one, because this dream they hadn't imagined in the wildest of their imaginations that it could ever come down to this, that they would ever fall for someone and even think about marrying and settling down and having kids. That was not like them. Like I told you, this is someone who was a tad bit of a loner. You know, everything, it's just me, 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 and me. So when did it become us? It was a shock to them. It was a surprise even to them. Okay, let's take a look at your tarot cards now. Spirit, how did Group 1's person feel during their last meeting? Look at this. 4 of Wands, the Emperor. How did Group 1's person feel during their last meeting? 4 of Cups. How did Group 1's person feel during their last meeting? How did Group 1's person feel during their last meeting? 5 of Wands. That inner conflict that I had picked up on earlier has come out again with the 5 of Wands. This was the dream. This was one choice that was there in front of them. 4 of Wands, a secure long-term future with you, but they rejected that. I mean, the conflict, I mean, this is, it's just so clear. You, the conflict, and the difficult choice, and they chose that other choice. You might have tried being very romantic with them that day, you know, tried to hold their hands, even get physical. They did not indulge in any of that. And that might have upset you, because you might have felt like, oh, why, what is it? Why are they suddenly so repelled by me? But it wasn't you. It had nothing to do with you, Group 1. Please understand that, because maybe for a lot of you, for a very long time, you might have blamed yourself for whatever happened. But I hope this reading can help you get an insight into their mind and their heart today, and help you to understand that it had nothing to do with you. It was all them. Another thing over here with the Emperor and 4 of Wands is that this individual also had self-worth issues, especially because they saw you as being better than them, and they were absolutely positive that someday you're going to be very, very successful. So they knew that if they would be anything short of that, anything less than that, you would never choose them, or that you might leave them and you might go off with somebody else and marry someone else. So becoming the Emperor was mostly, yes, for satisfying their material dreams, but it wasn't just limited to that. Some of it also had to do with becoming good enough for you, because that is something which they, up until that day, didn't think that they were. This individual was hyper focused on the future, which is why they made those difficult choices in the past about not picking you and picking their career or money, or just leaning more towards wealth and material prosperity. But the 5 of Wands over here confirms that even if on the surface you might have felt like it was, you know, they left me as if nothing happened, as if I had never meant anything to them, that is not true. It was a battle that they fought with themselves. But unfortunately, yes, your connection lost. But even then, I wouldn't say that, okay, you guys might have been seeing a lot of repeating 4s of late, by the way. I have 44 over here, and then 4, 4, and 4. Even in that choice of picking their career or money, you were present in, there was an undertone of your connection, which was this 4 of Wands and the Emperor being deserving of you, being worthy enough of you. Aries, Leo, Sag, and Cancer and Pisces has also come out over here. So these signs might also be present somewhere in your chart or this person's. Alrighty, Group 1, these are all the messages that I have for you today. I hope you liked this reading. If you did, do give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are new over here. You can also follow me on Instagram for more tarot readings. The link is in description. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you'll find all the details in the pinned comment and description box. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hi group 2. So for those of you who chose this dark purple stone, let's see how was the person on your mind feeling when you guys met last. Spirit, how was group 1's person feeling during their last meeting? We have balance over here. How's group 2's person feeling during their last meeting? Patience. How's group 2's person feeling during their last meeting? Destiny. How's group 2's person feeling during their last meeting? Solitude. Okay. So here's the thing. There is a very sad acceptance sort of in your person's energies during your last meeting. Firstly, I think the meeting took place in an area which was not surrounded by a lot of people. So this was either at your place or their place or just some quiet place basically. This individual was talking to you, but they seemed to be suddenly very interested in intellectual stuff. And I think it might have seemed crazy to you at the time. Like, why are they all of a sudden talking to me about destiny and fate and what's written in the stars and energies and things like that? Maybe this individual is spiritual, but I don't think that they usually talk about all of these things. And I think it's just something that you realized at the time and you couldn't exactly decipher why was all of this happening or why were they behaving like this. Now, here's the thing. Solitude over here tells me that this individual had already planned that they were going to leave you or stop talking to you. But they somewhere were also very sure of the fact that it's not going to be a permanent situation and that you both will find your ways back to each other again. They strongly believed that your connection was a destined connection and that the separation which was going to happen between you both was only temporary. In fact, I think that for a lot of you, this last meeting was the one in which they broke up with you, and this is the reason that they could have given to you, that it's only for some time. I need some time out. I need some time to figure my shit out. There's just lots going on in my life, and but I know this, like this is in the end. Please calm down. Please don't cry. I just need some time for myself. I just need some time to sort out my life, and things like that could have been said for a lot of you. You guys might have met for the last time during November, October, or September on any 11th, 14th, 10th, or 9th of the month. I see that the last meeting was something that you really had to fight for, because I am picking up on these slight undertones of escapism from your person. So I don't think that they were willing to meet you for the last time, because they knew that, that this is going to be the last time, so it's not going to be easy. There's going to be very heavy energies involved, lots of sentiments, emotions, crying and whatnot. They were not ready for any of it. And I think you really pushed for that last meeting to take place, group 2. And I'm also hearing that a lot of you felt horrible about it later on. Like, why did you beg them to meet you for the last time? You were better off without it. But it's okay. You did not know then. That's fine. One thing is coming out very clearly over here, and this isn't just about the last meeting. Otherwise, also in this connection, there was never any balance. One of you was always more patient with the other. One of you was always more giving. One of you was always more supportive. And one of you just made sure that the connection would somehow keep going. And one of you was also more liberal with giving space to the other. The other person was very impatient, short of temper, would invade your personal space, did the bare minimum in the connection. So there was no balance. And I think the reason why we have destiny with balance and solitude is because this separation that has occurred between you guys, and it might not seem like it, but truth be told, it was needed. Okay? Time apart was needed so that this connection could get balanced, so that the person who left you could wake up and realize what they were missing out on, or what they would miss out on if they don't make any amendments to how they behave with you. Some of them, like I said, by talking about all of these things such as patience and destiny and God knows what, they might have tried taking the high road. And I'm also hearing gaslighting. So some of you were also gaslighted very heavily. Gaslighting is basically when someone makes you feel horrible for something that you haven't even done. I mean, that's a rough explanation that I can come up with. And I think that also happened during that last meeting. The problem is that this individual felt that whatever they were doing was right. That taking time apart from you, or not talking to you, or not giving enough time for this to this connection, everything was okay. So in their eyes, balance tells me that they weren't wrong at all. And I think that is why during that last meeting, they were being so intellectual and, like taking the high road, and the sense of calm on their face, because according to them, they were not doing anything wrong. At least that is what they felt up until that moment, that they were not doing anything wrong by leaving you, or by putting an end to this connection, or by breaking up with you. The panic is what I'm picking up in your energy, not theirs. In fact, they could have broken up with you with a very straight face. And that's something that's bothering me, but I think that is exactly what happened for a lot of you. Okay, let's see what else. Spirit, how was group 2's person feeling during their last meeting? We have delight. How was group 2's person feeling during abundance? How was group 2's person feeling during their last meeting? Flexibility. How was group 2's person feeling during their last meeting? And voyage. I think shortly after your last meeting, one or both of you might have relocated, or this breakup really brought about that change which was needed in your person. And it is something that might have been communicated to you by a third person, like by some common friend of yours, that that this individual that you're asking about, they've really changed ever since you guys met last, or after everything that happened, they're not the same anymore. And I think you have a very difficult time buying that. During that last meeting also, I can see that there was no sadness as such in your person's energy. And it might not sound good, but I mean, truth rarely is pleasant sounding. They were very future focused. They were looking forward to what next. And a lot of them could have also had this mentality of, the grass is greener on the other side, and I think that this connection has run its course, and now I need to go out there, explore what else is out there for me in this world, who else is there out for me in this world, and things of that nature. In fact, after you guys broke up, you might have gotten to know from various sources that they dated multiple people, and sometimes even at the same time. The thing is that with flexibility and voyage, I'm strongly picking, also with solitude over here, group 2, you challenged this individual, okay? Because they were flawed, and you knew that. You did put up with them, but it's not like you silently put up with them. You're not that kind of a person who would silently put up with anyone's shit. You made them aware of where they're lacking, and you made them aware of where there is room for improvement. So basically, they knew that if they wanted to be with you for the long haul, they would have had to change themselves. They would have had to become a better person. And they were not prepared for that. They were absolutely not prepared for that, because Delight over here tells me that they were very content being who they were. Even though there were so many shortcomings, they were barely there for you. They were so impatient, and the other things that we discussed about earlier, they were fine with it. They were fine with all of it. They did not see any problem in any of it at all, none whatsoever. And they did not want to change. They did not want to get out of their comfort zone. So the easier option was to let you go instead of having to change themselves. And that is what they did. So even during the last meeting, the reason why they were so calm and composed is because it wasn't bothering them as much as it was bothering you. They were actually excited about, like I said, who else and what else. I'm not sure how well that actually turned out for them. Because if this was a destined event, I'm sure that there was some lesson in it for them, which is why somewhere I believe that if they left you for someone else or multiple people, I don't think it went their way. And I think they might have realized sooner rather than later that the grass is in fact not greener on the other side. The grass is always green where you water it. But this had to happen so that this individual could learn that lesson. But anyway, getting back to that last meeting, they did a very good job in concealing their excitement about the future from you, group 2, sorry. They did not want you to know that they were not affected. They did not want you to know that they were looking forward to their future. And just traveling, going places, no foundations, date whoever you want, fuck whoever you want, things like that. This individual is a very good actor. I have to give it to them. They are very, very good at not letting their emotions or their thoughts come on their face. Which is why even though they were being very calm, they were talking about all of these philosophical things and all these intellectual things, like whatever happens for the best and things like that. Somewhere you might have felt as if, like for a split second that, wow, I think overnight this person seems to be very mature, but no, that's not what it was. It was all part of a plan. Okay, let's see what else do we have over here. And I know group 2, even while I am channeling these messages for you, I know it's not very easy to listen to all of this, but I truly believe that by now, even though it might be hurting you to listen to all of this, I don't think it's surprising you. Because obviously, ever since the separation, maybe you guys would have also come to realize how flawed this individual really was. And once you got the news about them dating other people, it might have hit you, okay, so this is why they did what they did. Okay, Spirit, how did group 2's person feel during their last meeting? How did group 2's person feel during their last meeting? We have Mother Mary. Mother Mary and the unicorns are blessing you. Archangel Gabriel, call in the pure white light. How was group 2's person feeling during their last meeting? Archangel Uriel, become a peace ambassador. You've got lots of light beings coming in for you. How did group 2's person feel during their last meeting? And we have Feather. Wow. This calling card from the unicorns tells you that they are near you. Group 2, you guys have an amazing, amazing team of spirit guides, man. I just, wow. And it is no coincidence that you keep finding all of these feathers in your paths and things like that. Repeating 3s also for a lot of you. I think that somewhere your spirit team has actually protected you from this individual. Although your plan was to be with them for the long haul, you would have met with this disappointment later on, and perhaps even affected by it in a larger magnitude than what you did whenever it happened. This individual, and the thing that I had said earlier, that they were trying to take the high road, is again what has come out in their feelings. So this person has such a flawed sense of what is right and what is wrong, and that is what is bothering me. I mean, how can someone's sense of judgment be so wrong? So utterly wrong. Because even over here, I can see that in their feelings, according to them, they let you down gently, which I don't think they did. And they feel like they did the right thing, which they didn't. They felt like they were being nice to you and that they were a wonderful human being to actually let you go and things like that. And again, that's absolute bullshit. And they might have also said stupid things like, so what? We can always be friends. I'll always be just a call away. I still care about you. You'll always mean the world to me. And all of these sentences might have irritated you even more. But basically what this spread over here is telling me that during the last meeting, your person was convinced that what they were about to do or what they were doing was the best course of action for them. There is a very selfish energy that I'm picking up on from your person, to be honest. They only think about themselves. I mean, they just declared one fine day that they want to break up with you. They did not think about the consequences. They did not think about how it would go down with you. They did not bother to think about how it would affect you. They just went ahead and did it anyway. And on top of that, they try to present themselves as the bigger person. So yeah, this individual has some sort of God complex for sure, wherein they think that whatever they do or whatever they say is what's right and is what's in interest of everybody. First of all, who put you in charge of everyone else, right? But well, that is what they think. It's messed up. This person is messed up. And I think it's a good thing. This time apart, they really need it. We'll have to do some other reading, obviously, to find out how much they've changed. I think I did make a reading on this, though, maybe on this channel or the other one. I might cover that topic again, but if you guys are still in touch with them, or if you guys still have any common friends, you might have found that out. You can find it out for yourself also, are they still the same person or not, or have they turned out to be a bigger dick than you thought? But on that day, at least, they strongly felt that they were doing right by you just because that was their sense of what was right and what was wrong. Okay, let's take a look at your tarot cards now. In fact, group 2, you guys might have had your spiritual awakening after this breakup. You guys might have found your way to spirit and spirituality and tarot cards and all of these things because of this person. They might have been that catalyst for you. How did group 2's person feel during their last meeting? 7 of Wands. How did group 2's person feel during their last meeting? Temperance. How did group 2's person feel during their last meeting? 2 of Swords. How did group 2's person feel during their last meeting? How did group 2's person feel during their last meeting? And 2 of Cups. Please clarify the 2 of Swords. Okay. For a brief moment, there was some confusion in their energy about whether or not they should stay with you in this relationship or, break up with you and see what else is out there, enjoy that single life, date whomever they want and things like that. But here's the thing. Unfortunately, their ego won. And it's very strong. Did you see the way this card flew out? And the fact that this is a Seven of Wands, no matter what you said to them, no matter which argument you presented forth, they had counter arguments for everything. They were very determined that once they had made, like I said, initially there was confusion, yes, about whether they should stay in a relationship with you or go out and explore. But once they made up their mind that they would like to go out and explore, that's it. Then they wouldn't budge from their stand, and nothing you said or nothing you did, no matter how much you cried, no matter how much you pleaded to them, it did not work on them. It did not work on them at all. They said all of these things, that I love you, that I will always love you, you'll always mean the world to me. And I'm not denying that when they did have feelings for you, it was all just fun and games. I don't think so. I think when they did have feelings for you, during that duration, they genuinely did have feelings for you. But ultimately, you have to see group 2, that they chose themselves. Okay, they did not choose you and them, they just chose themselves. And in fact, with temperance over here, again, this whole complex of I'm doing the right thing and I'm doing what's in everybody's best interest, even though it was just in their interest for selfish reasons. That is why they did what they did. In fact, you might have actually told them, that have you given thought, why don't you give it some more time? What's the hurry, or how can you break up with me so suddenly? What has happened? They never gave you any proper answers, because obviously how could they tell you that they were bored, or that they wanted to have more fun outside of the connection, or that they were not ready to become a better person for you? Obviously they couldn't tell you any of that, right? This was an easy way out. I'm hearing easy way out. Breaking up with you, leaving you, or disappearing on you was the easy way out. And so that is what they chose. Feather with Two of Cups is also telling me that your soulmate, the actual soulmate, is very close to you. This is a very random message and totally not related to this reading, but I got this, so I'm telling you that your actual soulmate is very close to you. For some of you, you already know who this individual is, might be in the circles that you run in. And for others of you, it's like they have entered that radius of yours and they will be appearing in your life very soon. This individual felt as if this connection had run its course. And my God, the detachment over here it's just off the hook. How can someone be so aloof and so detached and just so practical at the drop of a hat? Because like I said, it's not that they never had any emotions for you, they did. But when the time came, they suddenly donned that hat of being practical and very detached and just this is what it is. You were not a participant in the decision. The decision was imposed on you during this last meeting. You were informed. There was no consensus, there was no voting. You were just told. It was like a dictatorship. You were just told that this is what it is. And that there's nothing you can do about it. And you also, obviously, made your peace with it. Of course, group 2, but what a bummer. The fact that there was no balance, I'm not surprised that they turned out to be. I'll tell you what, group 2, I strongly feel like what hurt you more was the fact that this person failed your expectations. The breakup didn't hurt you as much as the fact that it was this person who let you down, because you had so many dreams and so many expectations from them. But well, this is what it is. Sometimes we create a picture of people in our minds, but they are not like that. The signs that have come out over here are Aries, Leo, Sag, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Virgo, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So these signs might be present in your chart or theirs. Alright, group 2, so these are all the messages that I have for you right now. If you like this reading, do give it a thumbs up. Let me know it down in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you're new, you can also follow me on Instagram for more tarot readings. The link is in description. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you'll find all the details in the pinned comment and description box. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.